name is Precious Vines and I'm the blogger for The Single Maven. The title of today's blog post is The Folly of Anticipation. Sometimes I waver on particular things I've prayed for because they just haven't happened quick enough. And to top things off, if I can't see anything happening in spite of everything I'm doing to make it happen, my faith starts to quiver. But the questions I should ask myself are, how invested am I in waiting as long as necessary? What sacrifices have I made to ensure that I'm ready, willing, and able to handle what I've prayed for? The fact of the matter is, you can't get ready for something after it happens, only before it happens. I found in my own experience, my calculation of the cost of what I truly desire is rarely accurate. I share with readers in Chapter 9 of the Sweetest Transition, Lessons in Life, Love, and Self-Discovery, how I didn't calculate the cost of pursuing both my professional and personal goals. Let me share with you exactly what this looked like. The folly of anticipation. Many of us thrive on a constant need to act. The thrill of momentum, movement, and energy exhilarates to no end. We're waiting for the next thing to happen. However, when we have a passion that drives us to this extent, we may become blinded by the very things that we're waiting on. I found myself in this very place recently when I was having a mindfulness break with God. While sitting on the park bench and writing in my journal, I paused for a moment and looked up. I saw a mother pushing a baby stroller. I was immediately fixated with the whole scene. In my heart, I wanted the same experience that she was having. I struggled afterward with how to qualify the residual feelings I was left with. It was then that I was gently reminded to consider all that I desired to accomplish in my career. It was at that moment that my personal and professional goals clashed with one another. How do I reconcile my dreams for marriage and family with my dreams for owning a successful business? I left the park and returned home. As I reflected on this experience, things became a bit clearer for me. In my imagination, I had shaped my professional goals to fit what I thought my career should look like. However, my imagination left out critical pieces of my existence. I used my own contrived fictional standard to pursue a partial reality, which considered only my professional endeavors. And in using that standard, I had not truly calculated the cost of the matter. Wisdom calculates the cost of a matter. In Luke 14:28-30, Jesus provides an example of the principle of counting the cost before setting out on a project with the following. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Wouldn't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying, "This person began to build and wasn't able to finish." So, as you can see in the passages that I just read, I was fixated on what I did not have, but did not consider my perspective of thinking regarding pursuing my professional and personal goals simultaneously. Now, this is not to say that one cannot have as well as achieve both professional and personal goals at the same time. However, it is to say that with any desired goal, one must look at the totality of circumstances to move in the best possible way to achieve that goal. My imagination regarding what I desired for my professional life left out critical pieces of my existence. These pieces of my existence were relevant to my heart's desire for my personal life. My imagination used a fictional standard to pursue a partial reality. My partial reality only considered a fraction of my well-being and failed to consider who I was as a whole person. Now maybe you can identify. Do you look at particular areas of your life from only one angle? For example, are you weighing heavily on finding a mate versus finding yourself? Or have you relied heavily on what others think about you versus relying heavily on what God thinks about you? You can often get lost in the anticipation of what you truly desire. However, rarely, if ever, do you consider the sacrifices you would have to make in your life to maintain what you've been praying for. So, it is imperative that you challenge yourself to be more practical in your approach to what you truly desire in life. A measure of realism marks your desire with a realistic expectation. And so, I urge you to answer these two simple questions. What is it that you've been asking God and expecting God to do in your life? Have you truly calculated the cost of everything that you've been praying for? As always, I invite you to subscribe to this blog, The Single Maven, and share it with your network. Until next time.